5 years ago, yes, 5 years ago, we had the video, the footage, the pictures of that Chinese dude falling over. God, 5 years ago. It's gone quick, isn't it? Time flies when you're having fun. Falling over in the street. Desperately ill. Couldn't help it. His hands came out in front of him before he hit the floor. Anyway. Chinese dude falling over. And then since that, post-2020, there's been a number of things happen, isn't there? I always wondered, I still wonder now, how the big atrocities in the world, some of the worst things, the most nefarious things, happened. How millions of people succumb to the same ideas, no matter how evil it might be. Millions of people succumbing to the same idea. I used to wonder. I wonder less since post-2020, but still brings about a lot of questions. Things like going to your local park and seeing it chained up so the kids can't play. Or my favourite bench, the bench I used to like and go and sit at, just have a wee bit of a break from it all, taped up. Yeah, actual tape with a sign on it. How dare you even consider sitting here, you dirtbag? And that was the general idea for days upon days, for weeks, for months, for actually years. The same message being pumped out through the TV, through a constant message through media, through everywhere you turned, through every conversation that you overheard in the supermarket. It was the same thing. Are you selfish? What are you doing? Who are you killing? Why are you choosing not to do this? You are literally killing people. How dare you? And of course, I'm talking about the decision to not take the jab. And many people succumb to it. Why? Because of that message that I was just talking about there, the relentless message of fear and guilt. And it was, if not the greatest psyop of its time, way up there when it comes to how psychologically influential and damaging it all was, of course. Influencing people to go and have a medical procedure. Of course, there was a percentage of people that are happy. They wanted to do it. A lot of that was because of the message of feeling like they were doing the right thing. That's what the whole media and message was about. You're doing the right thing. Not doing it was, of course, not doing the right thing. So therefore you weren't part of society, and you shouldn't have been part of society. And would it have got to a stage of being put in a facility because you had different views? We don't know. Let's not speculate at this stage. But would you have discounted it? No, for the sheer fact of, let's remember how deep it went. We were locked down, locked in our homes. And as I said, many people were forced, literally forced, to have a medical procedure because it got to a stage where a lot of people felt like they couldn't even work. Yeah, there were pressures. If we talk about this on a global scale, places like Canada, Australia, America, yeah, all of these places. I was in the UK was as crackers as anywhere else, but Australia, for example, went absolutely insane. The authoritarian message that people in authoritarian positions really seemed to enjoy it a lot more than the average. It was like a real pattern emerging of just really, really grabbing hold of the power of making people go and make this decision to go and get this medical procedure because they would lose their job. They would kill granny. On a very basic level, they wouldn't be able to go on holiday. And there were lots of people that took the medical procedure just for that fact, to be able to go abroad and go on holiday. And you might say, oh, that's crackers. It's stupid. But for so many people, going on holiday was the only joy, and continues to be the only joy that they've got in this freaking matrix. So again, it was all part of being coerced, right? Being pressurized. And there were certain people in the media, and I don't like to talk about Piers Morgan a lot because I know a lot of it is energy and putting energy into a story or an individual. So I don't like to do it, but it's too relevant to this video, because recently Piers did a thing on his show. Is it Talk TV or something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Piers Uncensored or something like that, isn't it? And he was talking about the jabs. And he also mentioned that he had been talking to one of the leading cancer doctors in the country. Leading cancer doctors in the entire country, right? And this doctor was saying that he had longer term concerns about the effects of the jab. Now, Piers Morgan, as an example, was one of the people in the media who, just a basic example, we all know what I'm talking about, but just on Twitter, he'd block people, including myself, for having a bit of a different view, for people who would question how vile some of his tweets were at the time. Questioning that, you get a block. And I got the block too. Now, as one of the people who were one of the leading figures in the media to say, you've got to go do this because it's the right thing to do, and pushed the medical procedure because it was the right thing to do, is now doing interviews talking about the long-term effects related to cancer, and speaking to top doctors in relation to longer-term effects of mRNA jabs and cancer. So now lots of people who went through and had to go through one of the biggest psyops of our time, being pushed with fear and coercion and manipulation and abuse, because that's all what it is, all exactly the same behaviours of bullies. It's exactly the same. That's what a psyop is. It's bullies using tools to coerce and manipulate. Those same people who got bullied into making decisions now have to listen to Piers talk about potential cancer risks too. It's beyond mind-blowing. You couldn't make it up. And it's pretty sick. It's disgusting. It really is. It really is. It's not right. It really isn't right. And, well, we'll see with time how all of this stuff develops. But to have to go through the last 5 years, I mean, I'm going to try and end positively, because it's not always easy to do, but whatever decision or you made or didn't make, remember that fear is the tool, and you've already been through so much these past 5 years, and you can continue to get through any challenge that you might be presented, especially when it comes through things like the media and fear, because remember, that's the underlying tool used to control. You have a great day. Ta-ta.